Alabama Citizens for Life with state affiliate to the National Right to Life Committee. I appreciate y'all having us here today for this hearing. I really wasn't prepared because someone told me that public hearing was canceled, so I'm just going to, I spoke last time and I don't want to reiterate what I said then, but I do want to stress that I've heard a lot about the perinatal hospice possibly guilting people, and I want to refresh this committee members who have heard many years of women stand here and say how they felt coerced during the abortion process, counseling. Carol Everett, a former abortion provider, clearly speaks out to that, as she gave a cash bonus incentive to her counselors for every abortion that was sold to the young girls. So in the perinatal hospital situation, it can be even worse because you're getting a devastating diagnosis. Just like pregnancy, it may be finding that out and feeling that you have to make a rush decision. Finding out that your child has a major anomaly is a big emotional thing. And I think there is plenty of precedent in law that allows people time to ingest and time to think about that for making a decision. And not to say a 48-hour waiting period that they're going to come back in 48 hours on the clock. I don't think that's necessarily the case. But giving people information so that they can make a proper and informed decision that they can be comfortable with the rest of their life. There's nothing in the perinatal hospice bill that prevents a woman from ever getting an abortion. There's nothing in there. It's just giving them extra information so that they can make the best choice for themselves. So I do want to support all three pieces of legislation, and in particular, the heartbeat bill, I think that needs to recognize the value of our people. Alabama, we are our people. We're not our buildings, we're not our lands, we're not our businesses. We are our people. And the state has an interest in the life of the child. And there's no ghosts that have DNA. There are no ghosts that have beating hearts. So I think there's some poor euphemisms and word choices up here. This is a serious matter, and I would like to see this heartbeat legislation become law. I would like to see some of the senators consider strengthening it and removing some of the language about the life of the disabled being worth less. There's some language in it now that the original version, it was substituted. Because I don't think that the disabled or the infirm should have any less right to their life than the able-bodied. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Joanne?
My name is Joanne Cummings. Thank you for letting me speak on this bill. Every time I come to Montgomery these days, it seems that I'm experiencing an alternate reality, like Alice in Bad Wonderland. It's like being in George Orwell's dystopia, 1984, where doublespeak means that most words have two meanings, with the real meaning being the opposite of what it sounds like. In Alabama, black is white, protection is restriction, and freedom is regulation. And like in another novel, The Handmaid's Tale, the government is assuming full authority to control women's reproductive lives. With this bill, you're at it again, trying your best to totally eliminate abortion in Alabama. There have been a handful of states trying to pass a fetal heartbeat bill, and both North Dakota and Arkansas were successful at it last year. I guess you're in a competition to have the most restrictive abortion laws in the country so that you can wear the badge of honor with your associates. I know that a fetal heartbeat can be heard as, you know that a fetal heartbeat can be heard as early as 6 weeks, often before a woman herself knows she is pregnant. So forbidding all abortion after a heartbeat is detected is essentially outlawing all abortions. Legal scholars have said this law would violate the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling on Roe v. Wade that abortions are permitted until a fetus is viable outside the womb, generally around 20 to 24 weeks in pregnancy. And that is why those heartbeat bills enacted in Arkansas and North Dakota have been immediately blocked by federal judges. Republican legislators are encouraged to pass these bills to find a Supreme Court test case to discover the boundaries of Roe v. Wade. But Paul Litton, who was general counsel to American United for Life for many years, has said that fetal heartbeat measures have no chance in the courts. And James Bopp, general counsel to the National Right to Life Committee, was worried that aggressive laws like these could go all the way to the Supreme Court, where there are not the votes to overturn Roe. And if there were proof that women still need, and this is still proof that women still need to pass the Equal Rights Amendment when bills like this are clear evidence. And I tell you, if the Alabama judiciary doesn't have the funds to keep our courts open 5 days a week, we certainly can't afford to pay for the inevitable litigation that would result, especially since we've already spent $1.5 million in 2013 trying to defend the bills you passed last year, an issue that is now going to trial. So why are you doing this? Well, one theory is if you have a bill like this that is so extreme, when lesser known bills come along, they look reasonable by comparison. So this is incremental legislation chipping away at women's reproductive rights. Thank you.
Thank you.